Greetings, Zachariah.
I'm gonna need everyone's help. ASC's infiltrated Noctis, and as you already know, that's not a good thing.
We just got away from them. Why can't they just leave us alone? What? What do you want us to do about it? Most of us are terrified of them. They're immune to our powers.
I understand your frustration and your fear. I wasn't there, and don't even want to imagine what they put you through. But we don't back down from fear. We're military. We fight. And I will be damned if we will back down from a few fucking ASC spies with lightning rods.
I hope you can see our secret's at risk. But I agree, the best defense is a strong first attack. If we hide and wait for them, we put our secret even more at risk. So what do you propose we do?
From what I can tell, the spies have weaseled their way into 3 groups. But we can't move until we know which members are from the ASC. Moles disguise themselves as mercenaries, religious zealots, and even merchants.
Then I'll dispatch some eyes to keep tabs on those groups.
Thank you.
Things keep going like this, I'm in danger of actually liking Technomancers. I'd rather deal with the Mole Queen than Victor.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, fine. Technomancers are more like locusts than a Mole Queen. I guess the comparison isn't fair.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
Do you know the preacher who officiates in town?
Of course, even though I must confess that I've never dealt with him directly, I've heard of him.
He stole serum given by his parishioners to benefit the poor and the refugees, and threatened men who wanted to turn him in.
Do you have any evidence to support your accusation?
I was able to recover some of the stolen serum, and I have a witness who's willing to back me up.
How sad. As if the lure of profit catches up with the holiest ones. All right, don't worry. I'll take care of it. The serum will be returned to whomever it may concern. Thanks for keeping me informed about this matter, Zachariah. Your sense of justice is quite sharp.
Not much news in Ophir about Aurora defeating Abundance. You heard anything?
Word is that Green Hope's defeat brought an end to the fighting. Aurora apparently took control of the hydroponics center using militia alongside Technomancers to support their army. And at first, Wisdom showed himself a worthy military strategist, using the militia in battle. Such people, properly motivated, can be surprisingly effective. You'd have to bear witness to the poorer classes of Aurora to fully grasp how badly they were mistreated, to fully grasp how much the mere promise of a place in the council would motivate them to fight, to fully grasp how it helped to deliver quite a blow to Abundance. And while Aurora adopted new strategies, Abundance remained predictable. They had almost no Technomancers, since it's becoming harder to find them in Ophir with each passing day. An interesting development, yes? And one that wiped out their army.
Yeah, thanks for the info.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia. Hi.
Hello there, Mr. Mancer. Good to see you. So, what did you learn?
I was able to get some answers for you.
Great. I knew you would. Go on, what did you find?
Keep names out of this. Be clear.
Of course. Our sources are always protected. Go on.
According to my source, the Army's reducing its troops by 50%, and the official reasons are the rising rates of desertion, the number of Technomancer arrests, and the shrinking size of the standing force during peacetime. But she says this doesn't explain everything, as many good officers and soldiers are being let go without reason, and replaced by members of the ASC. In fact, the fear is if the ASC attempted a coup today, the Army couldn't stand in the way, because there are too many ASC entrenched in its ranks.
That's terrifying. And it's news that'll hit the hearts of people in this city. All the people with soldiers and their families, soldiers who fought hard, now being fired only to make room for spies. What else did you find out?
I talked to an expert on corporation politics who had first-hand knowledge about Aurora and us.
And how'd he say Abundance lost?
Aurora's troops were led by a general named Wisdom, who used Technomancers, and apparently they've got a lot more than we do, especially recently.
So Abundance arrests and detains you and your brothers, our greatest weapons, and fall because of it. Guess that's karma.
But what's more, they rallied the common people, recruited local and national militias who were feverishly motivated by the promise of gaining a voice on Aurora's council. Aurora became the first corporation to empower its people to fight. So while Aurora brought everyone together for the war, strengthening their numbers, Abundance fought weakened, bleeding their ranks, arresting its own Technomancers. Our army, well-trained and well-equipped as it is, didn't stand a chance. We lacked the Technomancers to lead the charge and the motivation of Aurora's militias to persevere.
That's incredible. By giving power to the people, Aurora all but assured its victory. The power of unification is real. And the self-sabotaging nature of our government ruled by paranoia and fear cost us the war.
I also talked to a mutant who heard about the camp breakout and the mutant who led it.
Fantastic. And?
The mutants in that camp were living in hell, day in and day out. They'd finally just had enough. So one day, a guard was beating on a mutant too tired to work. As much as the others pleaded, the guard wouldn't stop. So another mutant stepped in and hit him back. The guards threatened to kill 10 mutants in retaliation. And that lit the fuse. With the help of a prisoner from Aurora, the mutants got their hands on some tools, and the riot started. They weren't trying to escape. They just wanted the abuse to stop. But the way the guards reacted made the mutants fear that it would only get worse. So they got out, led by a mutant named Scum. He's now a bit of a legend among them.
And where'd they go?
I can't tell you that.
Fair enough. You need to protect your sources, right? Another story that people need to hear. It's what happens when you mistreat beasts long enough. Eventually, they'll turn on you. Thanks for all the information. Once I write the articles and get them out there for people to read, I think the people are gonna have a wake-up call about how different the truth is from the propaganda their government's feeding them.
Hope it makes a difference.
You and me both. But real change has to start with the truth. Hold on. I've got one more thing to ask of you, if I could. One more thing to really make sure we can ignite some change.
And what's that?
We put our news on the city walls. The man who's been doing it for us lives in the exchange. Getting there, though, has honestly gotten too dangerous for us.
So you want me to be your delivery man?
A deliverer of truth. To those who have been starved of it, yes.
Yeah, I can do it for you. Get him!
There he is! Get him! There he is! Get him!
Hello. I brought back some articles to hang around your city.
Keep your voice down. Quiet. Tell our mutual friend that soon, these will be hanging on every other wall in the city.
How you gonna make that happen?
I'll make stencils of the text and then go around the city with volunteers and hit every wall we find. Soon, everyone in Ophir will know the truth.
This dome will match up to the one in Ophir.
The one in Ophir? That was your Technomancer hideout, right? I was always curious, but I wasn't allowed near it. Due to confidential shit.
Yes, it used to be some sort of museum. It's a fascinating place.
Looks more like a pile of rocks to me. Let's hope this other one is in better shape. Otherwise, that doohickey thingamajig you're looking for will be really hard to find.
If the dome is really off the grid, then it could still be in good condition. But we should be ready for anything. The scavengers could have beat us to the punch and scrapped and sold it. How big is it? Should we be able to spot it from afar?
I wouldn't bet on it. If I understood correctly, there'll be some small housing domes. But what we're interested in is the archives of these ancient inhabitants.
Heritage. What a funny little... The offspring of those who built the dome probably reside in our cities. Or perhaps even one of us is a great... And yet here we are, chasing after old ruins so we can rummage for answers on our ancestors. How remarkably absurd, isn't it?
We have the turmoil to thank for that.
I find humans' curiosity towards the domes curious. Why do you pursue them and other artifacts with such zealotry?
I don't want to be mean, Phobos, but as a mutant, you've become something else. Isn't it hard to keep revering something that brings back memories of those who used and exploited you?
Yes, but no matter what happens, Earth is a forbidden fruit, and for that, we choose to forge ahead and not dawdle in the past.
I can't wait to see it. I've never seen an intact colonial dome. There are only a few ruins in the canyon leading to Noctis, and they are in such a terrible state. Most are so badly destroyed that you'd need a pretty strong imagination to call them domes.
This is the famous dome in the sands. What do you hope to find here, Zack? You never did tell me what you were hoping to find in these ruins.
I made a promise, a vow as a Technomancer, that I'd find a way to contact Earth. So finding a beacon would mean... everything.
Hell of a vow, Zack. Usually I only make promises I know I can keep. I admire the persistence in the impossible. Though I'm not sure there's a beacon here. This dome doesn't look particularly important.
These are remnants. Nothing but remnants of our ancestors. If these remnants are worth following, they will lead to Earth. Is that what you're thinking, Zachariah? That's what I hope for. I can't blame your curiosity, but don't think it wrong. This is your time. Our hope. We need to make the best of it, and avoid bashing our heads in the stars.
Can't do this.
Yeah!
Unfortunately, this is beyond my skill level.
There's whole boxes of odd stuff. It's like a museum exhibit and a looter's dream. But I still have no clue what these plates are for. They look denser than my former master. There's whole boxes of odd stuff. It's like a museum exhibit and a looter's dream. I still have no clue what these plates are for. They look denser than my former master. Whole boxes of odd stuff. It's like a museum exhibit and a looter's dream. I still have no clue what these plates are for. They look denser than my former master.
A Technomancer gate. Gonna need your help, Andrew.
Then my help's what you'll get, buddy.
Zachariah Rogue in the flesh. Guess some rumors are true after all. Time to take out the trash. Kill them all.
Reminds me of someone. My own negative alter ego. Like Alan is yours. A shadowed reflection of the cracked mirror.
He's not that poetic. He's just a piece of shit. Plain and simple. Now let's just go. This tablet's obviously ancient, but the text's undecipherable. This'll make for one hell of a translation job. Great Master Ian's the only one who could have read it. Maybe Dandolo's heard of another Technomancer who could, though. Unfortunately, this is beyond my skill level. Can't believe Alan was here.
Talk about climbing the corporate ladder, right? That fucker's now the alpha technomancer of abundance.
How can he vouch for Victor, the man who caused the death of our great master? I knew Alan was ambitious, but to that extent?
There will always be men who will sell out for phony rewards. Give him a medal, a pompous title, and he'll ask you where and when to turn in his mother. This infection of uncurbed greed happens even among mutants. Just look around. You've seen the pen. Some of the Guardians are mutants themselves. And they can be the harshest of them all, disciplining for the sake of breaking in their batons.
You taught your rival a lesson. Now we should know better than to run after you.
If I know Alan, it'll only get worse.
At least we found some information, even if we can't read it. How's your ancient hieroglyphics, Zach?
No, I can't. Nobody I know can, except Great Master Ian. It's a coded language that's nearly impossible to learn.
Dandolo will find you a translator. Let's hope it's worth it, and not something boring like a soup recipe.
Hey, the Mancer's back. Hell do you want?
Good morning, Zachariah. Our brothers are still at their stakeout, but if you need any help, just let me know.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for my friend Scott. He just disappeared. Any idea where he could have gone?
Can't say that I have. He's not at the caravansary, though. If you want, I can check with my informants. Might have joined the caravan that just left, though. Your pal looked like he was missing Ophir, honestly. Then again, maybe he was kidnapped. Never can tell.
Just let me know if you hear anything. I need to find him. Thanks for the help.
My pleasure, as always.
They found some ancient documents. Looks like they date back to the settlers, but they're written in a language I can't read.
And I thought you Technomancers were so well versed in our old dialects.
Maybe in Aurora. In Abundance, we're soldiers first and last. We learned some colonial knowledge during training, but the languages are barely taught. The Great Master was the only one who had that kind of knowledge.
So, now you need a Technomancer from Aurora to translate. I might know of someone. A renegade of sorts who left Shadowlayer to become a hermit. Word was, though, your former comrades captured him. If he managed to hide what he was, he's probably a captive in one of their forced labor camps.
Then getting to him won't be easy.
Exactly. But if you want your document translated, you might just have to find a way.
I think I know the camp Dandolo mentioned to you. It sounds like their main camp, so I wouldn't be surprised if the man you're looking for is there. And I want to go with you. Have a few things to settle there. This is important to me, Zachariah. What they do to the prisoners there is inhuman. I just want to help as many as I can.
You're not telling me something, are you?
I was a prisoner there once. I can't tell you what they did to me. I'm just asking you. Take me with you.
I get why you'd want to free him, but it also makes me nervous about letting you tag along. If we get there and you let your emotions run away with you, it's my life you're risking too.
You know me better than that. You've seen me keep my cool in the worst situations. Think about it all you want, but I'm the one who knows that camp by heart, remember? It's gonna be more dangerous for you to go in without me.
expect at this camp?
Judging from Nisha's face, not something pretty. I feel like I'm driving a hearse.
Whatever you're thinking, it's 1,000 times worse. You're taking us to hell.
But aren't they called work camps?
More like prisons, where the primary goal is to break spirits and destroy free will. Their final products are submissive beings akin to farm animals, and their methods end up destroying some and brainwashing the others.
This Aurora Technomancer we search for must be hiding in plain sight. He'll be very discreet, so we'll have to look for someone normal. Almost too normal.
I hope we're able to free the other prisoners. We could help them get a fresh start in Noctis.
I know you want to sit with the cool kids, but my rover can only hold so many people. Sorry, can't take everyone.
If we can distract the guards, I can get Dandolo to send a rescue team. It wouldn't be the first time he's done that.
If Dandolo can bring the manpower, we can bring the diversion. We'll free them.
Words alone cannot express my hatred for this place.
I warned you.
You misunderstand, Zack. Coming back here free, armed, with my rights returned to me, it's priceless. Thank you for bringing me here.
Give yourself up!
I can't tell you how much it means to me.
Can't go through here. I won't be able to force this lock. I need a key.
If we can unlock this gate, the prisoners can get out and hide while Dandolo sends in backup.
I'll take care of that then. The more people we can get out of this hellhole, the better. Can't go through here. Can't go through here. Nisha, are you alright? Hey, are you Professor Charles Seeker?
I am? And you? You are... What does a Technomancer want with...
Long story, Professor. Just know I'm a friend of Scott's. We looked for you in Ophir. Even got our hands on some of your notes, but,
My research notes? On Technomancers? How? I coded them to make sure those ASC thugs couldn't read them. Did you manage to read them?
I just gave him to Scott.
Oh, good. Good. I'm sure he deciphered them with no trouble. Scott's eccentric, I know, a little unstable even, especially since he lost his child. But even still, he is the greatest mind in abundance. A genius who's focused his research on people like you. Technomancers. I'm sure my notes, which I pray no one but you and Scott will see, will be a great service to him. I was able to prove nothing, really, but my work pointed to a high probability that the abilities of your kind stemmed from what Earthlings called gene therapy.
Not sure what that means, Professor.
Yes, of course. They modified genes to cure disease, provoked mutations, modifications that got passed on to offspring as well. Look, in theory, at least. A theory I will never get to test now, I'm afraid. Being held here. Well, I suppose it's better this way. Undeniably incredible research, but research that could also, unfortunately, lead to the enslavement of your kind. Castor is just another mutation to be contained, you know, afraid of what they don't know. And while I'm sure there was good intention in their creation of your mutation, no one can say what that reason is.
Can you keep this a secret, Professor?
My lips are sealed, now and forever. No one else will ever be privy to my research.
Thank you, Professor. Take care.
Do I know you? Yeah. Yeah! You're the guy that sent me to that hellhole! Motherfucker, you're dead!
Hello, I'm looking for someone. A rather old man.
What is the man doing in the camp?
He was locked up here because he was living away from corporations. He's a technomancer like me, but way older.
He is not sure, but he believes he recognized that the old man had the Aurora way of speaking. But he thinks that the man is mistaken because he is not a Technomancer. He doesn't make lightning bolts. He is a mechanic.
Thank you very much for the information. Hello, I'm looking for someone.
A man? He doesn't mingle with men. Men avenge themselves.
All right, I understand. I'm looking for an old man. He's from Aurora, and he used to be a Technomancer.
Well, you're looking for him in the wrong place. It's true that there's a guy with a funny way of speaking, but I can't believe that he's from Aurora. That sounds crazy. What would he be doing here?
Who is that man?
His name's George. An old guy. as you said, and the way he speaks sounds funny. Anyway, as if he were making fun of us with complicated words. He's a mechanic, though.
This could mean that he studied within the elite in a corporation that were a little precious. Hello, I'm looking for a man. A man in your age range. A Technomancer.
A Technomancer? Here. You must be mistaken, my boy. There is no Technomancer here. The prisoners of war are sent elsewhere. Here we are taught to think like good citizens of abundance.
Hello, I'm looking for
a Technomancer.
Hello, I'm looking for a prisoner. An old man from Aurora. He's a former Technomancer.
There are no Technomancers here. You would be killed right away or sent to a camp as a prisoner of war. You're in the wrong camp. This here is a rehabilitation camp. For deviants, it's supposed to get us to think right again.
Maybe he hid what he was. He used to live far from the corporation. Maybe they mistook him for a deviant, an outcast. But he must have kept some of his mannerisms or accent from Aurora.
That could be George. I've always thought that he had a funny way of talking. But the funny thing is, I once heard him say he was barely 50. You think he was at least 20 years older. He must have had a really bad life.
That could be him. Technomancy tends to age us faster.
What that old man did was pretty amazing. He didn't manage to let a single person know he was a Technomancer or from a rival corporation. All while in a camp made to break you. Made to brainwash you. That's no ordinary man.
No one would know how much willpower a Technomancer needs to resist more than you.
Yes, that's true.
How old are you? 70?
50 years old, but I had a hard life. Unfortunately, that leaves its mark.
Like Technomancy takes its toll as well.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know anything about Technomancy. You should talk to someone else.
I've heard that mechanics isn't your forte. It's a good hideout, isn't it?
The person who told you that I'm not good is simply bad-mouthing me.
If you say so. But this doesn't explain the way you speak. Polished for a mechanic. Listen, let's cut to the chase. Just let me look at your temples and that'll be it.
You are the pain in the neck, you know that. Very well. I am the one you are looking for, and your relentless questioning puts me in jeopardy if the word gets out here.
I specifically came to this camp in order to find you. You brought back a dome lost in the sands, a tablet that I'm unable to translate.
It is written in the settlers' coded language, one they use for the important data. By all means, I can translate it, but this type of thing can take time, and I can't do it here.
Come with us to Noctis. I am sure that you'll find a place to stay.
Noctis?
The city of the merchants. It's an independent city. There you won't have to fear Aurora or abundance.
Well then, I'll follow you.
Let's go. Glad to leave this place.
Me too. I don't care where you take me. Anywhere is better than prison.
It stank like fucking death in there. I don't know what to say. I feel ashamed. I'm from abundance. What they do to people in there... inhuman.
To think that even Ophir looks like a paradise after seeing such a place. I am grateful, however, for we managed to save a few souls.
You okay, Nisha?
No, not really. I don't want to talk about it right now.
I get that the place could have triggered some bad memories. I'm sorry, Nisha.
Hello. This is Patience, the Technomancer you told me about.
Ah, nice. Free of that shadow-forsaken labor camp. Must have been a living hell. A sincere pleasure to meet you.
Yes, nice to be free, but to be honest, I'm now stuck with no place to go. Can't and won't go back to Aurora. And Abundance was always so accommodating that I can imagine the hospitality if they had known about my talents. Damn the ASC. And ever since my little desert refuge has been discovered, it's become a tad less cozy. Here I am, no roof, no real belongings. Only thing I have is this guy here who won't leave me alone until I translate some ancient text for him.
Well, I can't help with Mr. Mancer's needs for a translator, but I can give you a roof. It's the Noctis way, for we say, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Welcome to your new home, patients. There are some empty houses in the northern part of the city. I'm sure we can set you up there.
Thank you, and a sincere pleasure to meet you, Dandolo.
Zachariah, your help would be indispensable once more.
I'm listening.
First, I want to thank you for helping me, my mother, and all the mutants.
I don't really feel like I helped your mother, but if you say so.
Sometimes you have to look beyond appearances. I miss her a lot, but at least she did not suffer thanks to you. But let's get back to what I wanted to talk about with you. I managed to get in touch with a man who can provide us with military equipment. And we are going to need it because we have to be able to defend ourselves. But that man will never do business with the mutant. That is why I need you to negotiate in my place. If you wanted to look like a merchant from Noctis and go to the meeting point with me, I'm sure that he would agree to sell you the surplus we need so much.
That doesn't sound too complicated. I guess...
Thank you. We will never forget what you did for us.
Most exotic
Looks like Patience is gone. Judging by the mess, I doubt he left willingly. Bet you all the serum in the world the fucking ASC's behind all this. They need to be stopped before they overrun Noctis. And I need to find Patience. Fuck, and the tablet. Fortunately, this is beyond my skill level. Fortunately, this is beyond my skill level.
Repent!
I had something else in mind. Set up the exchange with that Aurora quartermaster if he was a complete stranger.
Some mutants aspire for freedom everywhere, Aurora included. When I learned that the quartermaster was looking to dispose of stocks of merchandise, I sent messengers.
Messengers? Mutant messengers? And he still took the messages seriously?
No, I paid humans, noble-looking ones too. Plus, we have a few sympathizers over there, some of which are merchants who are always more than helpful, for a price.
I thought you didn't want Dandolo in the loop.
Indeed, I had to pay them. A lot. If there's any corporation you want to be heard talking about, just talk about Alliance. Avoid the others. Don't want to start anything.
Hey, Zach. Count on me if you need some help during the transaction. I've got real-life experience, after all.
Phobos, if Dandolo finds out you're plotting behind his back...
He's my ally, Nisha, not my mother. Which means I don't have to tell him what I'm doing at every hour. I think that our negotiator is already there. He must be waiting for us below the Shadow Path.
If you're interested, I could play the role. Even if I'm retired, I still know my way around the merchant's world.
Thank you for the offer, Andrew. If Zachariah does not feel up to it, I'll be sure to call on you.
Hi, I'm Zachariah. Are you Sincerity?
Yes. Your message mentioned that you're a merchant and that you may be interested in some merchandise. I have some overstock that I'm willing to sell, but I want to be sure that this merchandise won't end up in enemy hands. Please understand that the safety of our corporation depends on it, and that I don't want any of my superiors to learn about this type of transaction.
I hear where you're coming from. Don't worry though, the stocks won't be resold together. I'll spread them out here and there so no one will be able to track the sales back to you. Obviously, if the stock's disseminated, your enemies will have a harder time mounting a strong enough offense to harm you.
Do you have a wide enough network to disseminate the merchandise afterwards? It's true that that's a pretty good solution. Very well then. I think that we can do business. Someday I will kill that madman.
Who is this mutant? Why did he kill the merchant?
Kane. He refused any type of relationship with humans, and I guess that is his way of showing me that he disagrees with my trying to do business with them. But he failed the negotiation I had been working on for months without even realizing that we need these weapons. Anyway, I guess I need to find another way to stock up.
All those negotiations, all for nothing. Your rival's an idiot, Phobos. All he seems to want to do is piss off humans. Doesn't even seem to get it. Without humans, without practice, even Valor's never gonna amount to shit.
So sorry, Phobos.
Don't be. Had I known that Kane would intervene, I would have never arranged our meeting there.
Kane, what a guy. Looks like he wouldn't hurt a fly. Instead, he'd kill hundreds.
He hates humans, hates their guts, and he won't stop until he dies. And unfortunately, he has a lot of followers. Such a waste. All that time spent for that exchange to turn into nothing. If I find out who told Kane about the meeting, I'd show him what makes me different from scum.
Take it easy, big guy. With all these intercorporation wars, finding weapons won't be too difficult. I could ask around for you.
Why, thank you, Andrew.
We were lucky Kane didn't attack you too, Phobos. He obviously doesn't like you. You're his natural competition for chief.
I say bring him on. That brute doesn't scare me. Hey, the mattress. Hey, the mattress back.
Maybe if you were a little more discreet, Dandolo would never even know you were here. Now he does, though, and he's pissed. And so am I. You come here and bring your dirty little work. Even killed a man, didn't you?
Fuck off. Who the hell do you think you are? Certainly not my boss. I was told to set up shop here with my men, so I did. What, you think we came to learn pottery or something? And in case you forgot,
You got a job to do for me. We had a few dead here. Want to be the do-gooder? You better take care of these guys.
Maybe I wasn't clear enough. You're in real trouble here.
Yeah, I know. He's the only guy dangerous enough for Anton to even pay attention to. Fine. We'll move on. But this ain't even close to being over. Anton Rogan could type to ever back down from a fight. He might regroup.
I better go talk to Anton. Otherwise he won't stop sending men until we cave, and he wins. Hello?
Listen, we heard how you kicked the Vori out of here, and to tell you the truth, it makes us very happy. Finally, someone ballsy enough to get rid of those leeches. We just couldn't keep living our lives like that, knowing each day we were selling our bodies, our dignity, to fatten those pigs. So we took back our freedom the only way we could. By force. We bled out the two pigs watching us. But now we're obliged to hide.
You didn't pull any punches. Your pimps were not only dead, but they were also in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, we were angry. And we also wanted to cover our tracks. We wanted people to believe that it was a crazy man who had done it, so that their boss believed that we were dead too. It almost worked. You know, that guy is really a top-notch scumbag. And the crook that sent you, he threatened us, beat us, raped us. It was torture to work for him. And if he learns that we're alive, he'll kill us. Or make us wish that. We don't want to live with that threat hanging over our heads. We've already done most of the legwork. Take out that asshole. Please. It's the only way for us to truly be free.
Alright, I'll take care of it. But I hope that Anton never learns that you are behind all this. He'll probably come get you himself if he hears that this guy's dead because of you.
No worries. I'm sure that the fat one didn't tell the big boss that we had disappeared for fear of getting his knuckles wrapped. There's no reason why Anton would be aware of our existence. Thank you for helping us. I'll never forget it.
Welcome. Well.
watch out for who you bind hands with, Zachariah. Anton Rogue might be a strong ally now, but will he always be there when you need him? He isn't loyal beyond the serum you can bring. Are you certain you can always give more than your enemy tomorrow?
A pleasure as always, Zach Rogue-Mancer. I hope my sarcasm wasn't too subtle for you to catch.
Looks like your dreams came true. Your men finally found a way into Noctis.
And from what I heard, you went in with a little heavy hand yourself with my men, which isn't really great for our relationship. But it's fine. Live by brutality, die by brutality. Maybe I could be understanding of your methods if you could be a little more tolerant of my needs.
How's that?
I'd really love to send some men back to Noctis. Tell them to stay out of the way. Keep discreet. I don't want control in the city. I just want access to the other corporations. Nothing that would step on your friend's toes. Just some healthy competition. What do you say? Not that I expect you to say yes without a fair price, for your patience and understanding.
It's a deal. On the condition that I don't even know your men are there. Never hear about them.
By the shadow, we have a deal. Look at us, working together like civilized men, without even a scrap of brutality. Here's payment as promised, though seeing as you're in such a good mood. Victor's already set up camp in Noctis, if you need my help.
I already knew that. We've just been trying to figure out how they worm their way in, and who they are.
Well, if my men can be of any help.
You know I'll be back. Thank you, Anton. I gotta go.
Then go.
Holy shit. You come all the way to Noctis and still can't get away from Victor. How the hell did he manage to make it here? I better figure out what the hell's going on and find his spies before it's the end of us.
Traitor, get him!
Hey, the Mancer's back. Hell do you want?
It's about the girls who disappeared.
Yeah, fine. I hope that you took great care of the scumbag who smoked our buddies. You found the broads?
Actually, yes. And they're sending me to pay their debt. He's dead. It's over. You're free now.
Thank you. You can't imagine how much better we feel now. You hear that, girls? We're gonna be able to live finally.
So, I have some troubling news about your friend, Scott.
Where is he?
Mutants spotted him near the Shadow Path. Come here. Let me show you on the map.
Why would he go there?
Haven't the slightest. There's an abundance outpost there. Might have been taken there by force. From what my informants told me, he looked like he was in a precarious situation.
Thanks for the info, Dandolo. Owe you one. So I went out to see if there's any Vori in the city.
Can I put my mind at ease now?
They're out. Put your worries to rest. I really doubt Anton will send any more our way.
Fantastic. That is an enormous weight off my chest.
After trailing the groups you mentioned, it's obvious that they each have a few people among them who aren't just looking for you, but purposely seeding unrest in the population and maybe pushing for an uprising.
Then we need to stop it.
Here's a description of everyone we found. Give me your map. There. I've marked every place you can find them. Shouldn't be hard for you to get them now.